complete with his warm-ups now. Tennis goes down to green at second base. Wayne Garrett steps in, and stepping up is Ralph Kiner.
Thank you very much, Jim Simpson, and hi, everybody all around the world. Wayne Garrett is stepping in the batter's box. Wayne in this series has had 4 hits and 22 times up, batting 182. He's had 2 runs batted in, 1 home run. During the season, he's batted 256 with 16 home runs and 58 runs batted in.
He lost him. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. Here's a tough out and one of the finest number 2 hitters in the lineup in baseball today, Felix Millan, the Mets second baseman. He can handle the bat, is a good hit-and-run man, excellent bunter. Bando plays him shallow. He's bunted for 1 hit in this series. Fly ball down the right field line. Out in no man's land, Dick Green, a great running catch in that deep foul territory here at the Oakland Coliseum. He ran a long ways for that one.
Before the ball game, the Oakland A's looked like a dispirited ball club, but with this first fine play by Dick Green in the long run, they sure don't show it right now. He made a great play, went well beyond the foul line.
In this ballpark, that distance between the foul line and the stands is a factor many times. That would have been in the seats at Shea Stadium, and Millan would have still been up. Here now is Rusty Staub, the right fielder. He is tied with Cleon Jones with the most hits in the series. He has 8 of them. He leads the series and runs batted in with 5. Line drive center field, base hit. Garrett will stop at second as Davalillo gets the ball back into the infield.
And you can see Staub swinging better, looser at the plate. That shoulder improving day by day. He was hitting everything to left field in New York and out here. And that time he whanged it right up the middle.
These Mets have just been after the A's in this series. They have ripped 53 base hits so far, and this is game number 6.
They've been more aggressive at the plate, Monty. They've batted as a team 269, and the A's just 197.
And here's Cleon Jones, who has had 8 hits, including a home run. He's batting .381 for this World Series. For the season, he hit .260. Change up on him. And Davalillo in center field has the play. Runners hold on, and the A's line up in their relay. You see A's second baseman Dick Green between Campaneris and the third baseman Sal Bando. Oakland lines up 3 deep on the throwback end. There are 2 down and 2 on, and here is John Milner.
Milner didn't hit the latter part of the season for the Mets or in the playoffs, but he's come through for them in the World Series.
7 hits in the World Series so far and 2 runs batted in. He's hit .350. He led the Mets in home runs with 23 and in runs batted in with 72. And you see how the Met runners are leading away. Hunter with a breaking ball inside. That's his slow curveball. He doesn't like that pitch, that ball. He wants another one. Kurt, I don't know how you and Tony have found it around the National League, but most American League pitchers, the fastball pitchers, like the ball sown in Haiti, and the curveball pitchers don't like it because the seams aren't quite as high. Popped up. Out behind second. Davalillo coming in, and he's waving everybody off. He puts it away, and Hunter gets out of trouble in the first inning. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 left to score. Mets nothing, A's coming to bat.
Tom Seaver's warming up. Seaver, as we said, felt a stiffening in his shoulder, and today a slight pain in the front of his shoulder. A little concerned about that. Hill at first, beyond the second baseman. Helson to shortstop. There to third. Jones, Hahn, and Staub. The outfield, Jerry Grody behind the plate. Tom Seaver sets the pitch to the leadoff batter of the Oakland A's, Catfish Hunter. Hi, Jim. Campaneris has had 6 hits and 23 times up in the series, batting .261. During the regular season, he hit .250 with 4 home runs and 46 runs batted in. Right-hand batter with great speed. Milner, the first baseman, playing up on the infield grass. Garrett even with the bag at third. The first pitch by Seaver, a fastball, a tie, ball 1. Seaver led the National League in strikeouts with 251. Ties for the lead in some big games at 18. The 6th half is hit out the left center field. On with a long run. Can he get to it? Here he comes, and he makes the play. Ball was not hit hard. It was hard.
Center field, and Hahn playing a shade toward the right center field side. Had to go a long way to get to the ball. So one up, one away, and Joe Rudy the batter. Seaver peers in for the signs. His catcher, Jerry Goody. Here's the windup, now the pitch. It is lined over the second baseman, a base hit to right field. Scott comes up, fields the ball, flips it on in, and Rudy has the first base hit for the Oakland A. Solid line drive to right center field. Now with a runner on and one away, the batter will be Sal Bando. And the next pitch to Bando. Swung on and missed, and Bando went for a breaking ball that was way off the plate. Should have been a half a foot outside. Seaver gets his first strikeout, and brings up Reggie Jackson.
Tom Seaver sealed the Mets' pennant against Cincinnati, and now he's after the series clincher. Reggie Jackson's booming double sends Joe Rudy home in the first inning, and the A's grab the lead. Jackson was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against Seaver in Game 3, but this is a new day. Jackson again in the third.
Line drive, right center field in the gap. Bando can run. Staub cuts it off. Here's his throw to the relay man, and that throw has finally cost the Mets. Bando scores. Rusty Staub couldn't get the ball back into Felix Millan on the fly.
Another Jackson double scores Sal Bando to make it 2-0. A replay shows that Rusty Staub's shoulder ailment finally catches up with the Mets. Staub's weak sidearm throw falls in front of relay man Felix Millan. Millan can't handle the short hop cleanly, and Bando is home free.
Tanner along with Jim Simpson from Oakland, and the first batter for the Mets is Jerry Goody. Hits it right by the third baseman Sal Bando for a base hit to left field. So Goody is on, and that puts the potential tying run at the plate, and Don Hahn coming up.
Mets down by 2. Looking at Darren Johnson holding against Grody. Ball 1. You don't look for any kind of a hit and run play or any kind of bunt here. Down by 2 at this time of a game, it's usually swing away. The A's have really changed their defense on Hahn. First few games, they were playing him in right center, very shallow, and now Davalillo is shading him to left center, in center. Outside, ball 2. Here's a big man for Hunter right here. Leading by 2 with a pitcher coming up. He doesn't want to walk this one. There's the defense that you got a quick look at. Davalillo's moved over on Hahn, and of course that triple he hit into left center field in New York helped change the pattern. Strike on the outside corner. Two balls, 2 strikes.
He not only has that control, he changes speed so well. He does it a lot when the hitters are ahead of him, it appears, Monty, with his fastball and off his curveball, too. I think they're getting a fat pitch, and they're just out in front.
Hahn trying to go to right field with that outside pitch, which is the thing to do right here if he can. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The only real control problems Hunter had this year was right after he tried to come back. There's Yogi. Following the fractured thumb on the pitching hand, which he got in the All-Star game, the ball hit back through the middle by Billy Williams of the Cubs. Hunter was the starting pitcher for the American League, and it broke the thumb on his pitching hand.
Not worth it, Dick.
Oh, yeah. Holtzman.
On the replay, the sharp one bouncer hits Catfish Hunter on his pitching hand. Hunter's reflex action to make the play barehanded leads to a broken thumb, and American League manager Dick Williams calls on lefty Ken Holtzman to replace his injured teammate.
him out on a high breaking ball.
Well, we've talked about the Mets pitching against the Cincinnati Reds and the Oakland A's. How about Catfish Hunter today against the New York Mets? Catfish has allowed 2 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. One man, the leadoff man of the game, has been as far as second base. Fastball down low. Now he's gone to 3-1. And very quickly, we're going to get some activity in the Oakland bullpen. They've got the 2-run lead. They don't want it to get away. Ground ball towards Campaneris to shortstop. Batters deep up, comes up, and an easy out. Jones swinging on the 3-1 pitch. Grounds to Campaneris. Well, you know how seriously Dick Williams wants this one. His 2 finest. Rollie Fingers, the right-hander. Darrell Knowles, the left-hander. Now going in the Oakland bullpen.
Fingers on your right. Knowles on your left. John Milner, the batter for the Mets. The A's are leading 2-0 in the 7th. They hold on. We'll go to Game 7 tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. There's a base hit to right by John Milner. And Miller now has his 8th hit. He's batting well over 350. So is Staub and Cleon Jones. Jerry Grody flied out and singled. Runner on first, 1 out. There's a long belt deep to left. That ball's back. Rudy's on the warning track. He's got it. Grody nearly tied this game. That'll make Dick Williams think a little bit now about his pitcher. He just gave up a line shot to Miller. Now Grody nearly reaches the fence. Is Hunter losing a little bit? How do you know when to take a pitcher out? That's one of the big reasons the manager gets paid. There are a lot of little telltale things, aren't there, Tony, when they notice a change in his delivery or his stride?
Many times a catcher can tell more than anybody else. He sees that pitcher drop down, sometimes imperceptibly, to that man on the bench. Yogi was one of the best I've ever seen. As soon as he saw Whitey Ford drop a little bit down to 3/4, he's getting tired. Get him out of there.
Don Hahn has popped the short and struck out. The Mets have 2 away, Milner at first. They're trailing 2-0 in the 7th. On plate is a pull hitter to left, and Hunter's low for a ball. If we go to Game 7 tomorrow, Matlack very definitely will start for the New York Mets. He's been the best pitcher in this series. Ball 2, that's only my opinion. I'd like to see what you fellas think. Matlack.
He hasn't given up an earned run, and that's not too bad.
His earned run average is 0-0-0. You can't do any better than that. 2-0. And Holtzman will go for the A's. I'd say you'd have to give the Mets an edge if there would be an edge on the pitching strength. Matlack, who's just been unbelievable through the playoffs and World Series. Ground ball to Campaneris. Goes to second with it for the out. And that's it in the top of the 7th. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left.
Catfish Hunter has a 3-hit shutout through 7 innings. The 4th Mets safety is a pinch hit single by Ken Boswell in the 8th. Boswell will tie a series mark with 3 successful pinch hits before it's all over. Dick Williams calls on his record setter, Darrell Knowles. Knowles will be the first pitcher in World Series history to appear in all 7 games.
Tuck McGraw is heating up in the Met bullpen. Depending what happens here, it could be either be he or Sadecki. There's a drive into left center. It's in. Rudy goes over and picks it off. Coming on the 3rd is Boswell. And the Mets have the tying runs on in the top of the 8th as Garrett singles to left center. Now the batter will be Meehan. The relievers have pitched more than the starters in this World Series for Oakland. Up until this game. Hunter's 8 innings, or 7 innings, 7 1/3.
Much more successfully, as you can see by those earned run averages. Look at the relief job the Oakland A's pitchers have done. 1.05.
All right, Knowles will face Meehan. Fouled out, flied out, grounded out. Runners on first and third, one away. A ground ball hit to the right side. A runner's in. The tying run's going to third. The throw cut off. And the Mets have the tying run at third base. The lead run at first, one away. Leon hitting behind the runner. Sends him to third. He did his job.
Now we'll have to see if Dick Williams will go against the percentages and put his top relief pitcher in against a left-handed hitter, Rusty Staub.
Strike to Staub.
Third in the playoffs and the series, the Mets left-handed hitters have really done a job against left-hand pitching.
Doug McGraw loosening up in a hurry. 3 hits for the Mets this inning. Tom Seaver pacing. Strike 2. Seaver's out of the ball game, but if his club goes ahead this inning, and then either McGraw or Sadecki held Oakland, Seaver would be the winning pitcher. 2 strikes to stop. Garrett's at third, Meon's at first. Staub strikes out.
Dick Williams with a right-handed Cleon Jones coming up. We could see Raleigh Fingers.
Raleigh Fingers will come in to pitch to Cleon Jones. Dick Williams plays the percentages. So we have the situation of Fingers walking on. We have 2 outs for the Mets. They've scored a run. They have runners on first and third with a break in the action. The score is Oakland 2, New York 1.
Knowles gets Staub on 3 pitches, and the A's cling to their 2-1 lead with Reggie Jackson leading off the bottom of the 8th.
There's a drive in the center, a base hit. Ball gets by. Jackson will come to third. That could be a big play now.
Hahn thought he had a chance for a shoestring catch. Ed could not break himself quickly enough, got the in-between hop, and I don't know, he may have been blinded by the sun. He just put his glove out in front of him, hoping he would hit into it. Well, it's very hard by Jackson. Hahn's got to chase it down himself, as it was in dead center field, and Jackson has good speed. Could be a big run, Kurt.
Jackson's 3rd hit of the day. And Don Hahn's 2-base error brings Oakland an insurance run. But Reggie Jackson applies for membership in the Tom Seaver Admiration Society.
Tom Seaver today was not the Tom Seaver that he was in New York. He didn't have the overpowering fastball today like he had in New York. I got to give the man a tremendous amount of credit. I got all the respect for him in the world because he went out there when he was not himself. And he gave them 7 great innings. He's the greatest athlete in the world to me. Tom Seaver wasn't Tom Seaver in ability. He was only Tom Seaver from his heart.
There's a fly ball to left field that should score a run. Tagging up is Jackson. The catch by Jones. The throw goes to second base. And getting back to first for Gene Tennis. The A's lead 3-1. A sacrifice fly for Jesus to lose.
Gene Tennis really worked that time to try to draw that throw from the left fielder. He took off, tagging up at first base, and that's an A's play they use quite a bit.
Well, now it's a 2-run lead for the Mets, or for the A's, 3-1. They've had 7 hits. The Mets 6 hits. Darren Johnson 1 for 3 today. Gene Tennis at first, 1 out. A ball. The Met batters in the 9th inning, Milner, Grody, and Hahn. 3-1. There's a screwball again, and he missed with it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dennis looking some kind of a sign to see if he'll start on this pitch. In the second inning, they started him, but he's not going. In fact, he was going. He sort of tried to delay there. He didn't go, and then he went. And Johnson strikes out into a double play. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left at the end of 8. 3-1 Oakland. 3 balls, no strikes to John Milner. As he leads it off for the Mets in the 9th inning, the Mets trailing 3-1. 3-1 count. Foul back, 3-2. There's a fly ball hit to deep right. Jesus Salou has room and puts it away. One down in the 9th. Now the batter, Gary Grody. He's fly to left, single, and flied out to deep left on the warning path to Joe Rudy. Nearly tying this game up in the 7th. Oakland 3, New York 1, 9th inning. The Mets have 2 outs left. Sounding ball to the right side. Dick Green. Plenty of time. 2 down. John Hahn is going to be replaced by Ed Kranepool. Kranepool will bat for Hahn. And if Fingers gets this final out, tomorrow the World Championship will be decided. We'll be on the air on NBC at 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time following a professional football game. A football-baseball doubleheader tomorrow on NBC.
Sure to be something. 3 World Series in a row going to 7 games.
They've been tight. Kranepool batting. 2 down. Strike to the knee. That's a good pitch he has when he's down low with it. A stinking fastball around the knee.
Kurt, you can see Fosse double up his fist. He's that kind of an inspirational player. He really gets the most out of these guys. Just that little urging sign there.
There's a shot that is hit the green. The ball game is over. And the World Series goes to the 7th game tomorrow. The Oakland A's have bounced back and send it to the final day. But the hero today for Oakland has to be Jim Hunter, who gave the same kind of pressure pitching that he displayed in the 5th game against the Baltimore Orioles when he shut them out to give Oakland the American League Championship. And it was Jim Hunter's pitching today and the bat of Reggie Jackson, who came alive with 2 doubles and a single. He knocked in 2 of the 3 runs. Charlie Finley, who's been the eye of the storm in this series as he goes away. And we'll be back now to recap Game 6 right after this message.
Joe Rudy got the A's started in the 1st inning with a base hit to the opposite field off starting Mets pitcher Tom Seaver. Reggie Jackson also went with the outside pitch and hit a double to the wall in left center. Rudy scored as the Mets overthrew the cutoff man, giving the A's and Catfish Hunter a 1-0 lead. In the 3rd inning, Oakland got another run in a similar fashion. Sal Bando bounced a single to center. Then Reggie Jackson ripped another double, this one into right center. Rusty Staub's underhand throw to Millan was short. Millan dropped the bouncing throw, and Bando scored run number 2. The Mets' only run came in the 8th when Ken Boswell scored on a single by Millan. After the A's scored another run, Ed Kranepole's short pop-up ended the game 3-1. A's relief pitcher Raleigh Fingers was credited with saving the game for starting pitcher Catfish Hunter.
Raleigh Fingers nails the Mets 1-2-3. And for the 3rd straight year, the World Series will conclude with a 7th game showdown. The pinnacle of sports, the ultimate in pressure. After 173 regular season, playoff, and World Series games, it all comes down to one final contest.